Hey guys, it's Tuesday, 5th of October 2021. We had some Aussie news out in the early hours. The Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement, rates were held, so nothing different there. We've got some USD news, 3 p.m. UK time, a little bit later on, PMI news, so look out for that. And we've got Kiwi dollar, or Kiwi news, I should say, official cash rate at 2 a.m. UK time, early hours. So be aware of that if you're in any Kiwi trades or getting into any trades today, or maybe you're an Asian session trader. What's happening today? Dollar index bounced actually off this level here, around about 93.71, previous swing high here, and we found support here. So we're in this bullish 4-hour uptrend. At the moment, we've got this quite a bearish 4-hour candle at the moment, but literally, you know, the market can change at any time. So bigger structure, as I say, we're in this 4-hour uptrend. I've got this structure drawn out, and that was from a line chart basically that I did. If I just get rid of that, you can see that we're in this expanding structure. At the moment, the momentum is to the upside, but if we break through this trend line, potentially we could see price come all the way down to retest the bottom here. Potentially. We will see. So let's just get back to candle chart. So I think if we can break below this low here, which was yesterday's low, then we could be seeing that downside, and I'll be looking for basically that impulse move down, correction, then looking to sell. Okay, now equally we could come and retest support, which was up here. If you see, there's some little bit of support here which we broke but didn't test. We could equally come and test that and then reject, see an impulse, then pull back, then sell off. So number of things that could happen here, and we're just going to have to try and, it's like a jigsaw, put the pieces together as we actually get the pieces. So as we get the candles, we piece together what is actually going on in the market. So talking about USD, and we had Aussie news in the early hours. This is something I was talking about earlier, and I can see Aussie US dollar is in this range. We broke out of the range and now we're back in the range, so just ignore that for a second, and we can ignore that as well. So we broke out of this range, came back in it. Now ideally I was hoping for a retest at the bottom of this range to potentially go long if we saw rejection, but if I just put those a little bit back in, potentially we are seeing this little zone here acting as support. It was resistance here, resistance, support. We've had a rejection. Actually had a morning star pattern there, so you could have placed a buy stop above the high. I was looking for, and I don't know whether I'll get it now actually, price to come back down into these lows here where we found support, and inverse head and shoulder pattern basically. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder might still play out. So there's an option there for a buy limit at that zone, or you can actually trade price action itself, wait for price to come into that zone and see if you get a rejection. But if you are going to place that buy limit, for me, make sure your stop is underneath this low here. Gold is something I'm looking at as well, purely because we had a nice bullish engulfing candle on the daily yesterday, breaking outside of the trend line, closing above, and I can see a resistance here, I can see support here, so it makes sense to me if we've got support to see buyers come in, bullish engulfing candle, potential for end of day traders there, buy stop above the high, stop below the low. Intraday traders, we're actually seeing, that would have been the trade basically, that is the end of day trade there. Okay, but 1 hour, we're starting to see a little bounce off this trend line. We've got the start there for the low, the higher low, extend the trend line across. Basically all through the Asian session we sold off, and now we've just seen our first bullish candle. Not an engulfing buyer candle, but together that pattern there, 1 2 3, makes a morning star pattern. So if you like the idea of gold longs, then you could be looking to place a trade above, a buy stop above that candle. I'll leave that up to you though. But that looks interesting, especially if there's still 35 minutes to go. I'd like this candle actually to be a bullish candle closing above this one, giving me a perspective that there are buyers in the market. At the moment, it's actually an inside candle, so it's not breaking the high or the low of the previous candle, so there's no commitment from the buyers or the sellers. I would prefer a buyer candle, a nice positive bullish buyer candle closing above this one for the intraday trade personally. Euro Kiwi, I don't think this is going to happen, but I was looking for price to, if you see, this was acting as support here and resistance. This little zone broke through, got my alert set. I wanted to see price come into here, reject, look to sell into here, but it's literally come into the target, so don't know whether that's going to happen. I'm going to keep my alert set there anyway, and if I see a rejection, then potentially I might be able to trade that back into support here. And Cad Yen, Cad Yen. This is something I talked about with some guys yesterday, some traders, and it was, yeah, okay. This was the trade setup. I was talking about this last night actually. We have basically double bottomed here, broken through this neckline, retested. This was a great candle, guys. I don't know if anybody caught this. This hammer candle, retest, buy stop above the high, stop below the low. Boom, that would have made you at over 2%. Now, looking at this here as resistance, false break, okay? So my suggestion was a buy stop above this candle high here, and then either stops below, where you could put stops below this swing low here, or stops below this swing low here, or stops below that swing low there. Just personal choice. But to me, if we break that high, then it looks like we're going. And targets for me are up here, 91. CAD is a strong market at the moment because oil is doing well. So have a little look at that as well. Cad Yen longs, you can see that momentum is to the upside now. Having a bit of a consolidation really, looking for that to break further north. So interesting markets. Gold, end of day setup there. Intraday setup, if we continue to see buyers coming off this trend line. Aussie, let's see if we form that inverse head and shoulders pattern. Euro Kiwi, don't know where this is going to set up. I'm not placing a sell limit on this. I'm going to look for price action. Cad Yen, yep, looking for further upside on that. So there you go, guys. That's the kind of charts I'm looking at the moment. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you again really, really soon. Bye.